Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Akuban Nights.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Who is this weird potato man?
Neal?
No.
I do
you're
love
not a potato.
potatoes. Oh.
It's you,
Hi.
Necker. It's you. You're a potato now.
I spent some time shaving.
That's why our break was so long.
It wasn't that long. I was making food at the same time, all right?
It's a 15-minute break. It was a long one. It's fine.
That's true role play, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving the barbarians, and Sammy is abandoning his barbarian lifestyle and gets back to a civil look, so...
It's solid. All right.
I'm very in touch with my roleplay side.
Potato.
So, you guys are heading for Abenkai. Let's hear your plotting and planning to get yourself where you need to go.
Well, first of all, is Abenkai under the control of the Sherazin family or another family?
Shazarin.
Shazarin family or another family?
Shazarin.
Shazarin, good. So she shouldn't have a problem entering the city, Jane. But maybe she shouldn't pose as a guard, because if she does, I think she might be instantly recruited for other things.
She is a guard.
Yes, but maybe she should more look like a civilian.
Oh my god. Wait, she could literally and completely honestly dress up as a washerwoman. And getting through the gates that way. Sorry, I just... Dress up as a washerwoman. What? It's traditional, you know? Hello?
It's lost on me.
I can hear you eating, Neka.
No, it's traditional, right? You sneak into a castle by dressing up as an elderly washerwoman and sneaking your weapons in the basket, right? That's traditional. And she's a seamstress, so she could pretty much do that and be just like not even lying about it.
Yeah, and she's the only woman who's carrying around a foldable spear for the basket.
You know, it's fine. You just take the head off the spear and it's a stick. Oh, I'm 85, you know.
Yeah. So I guess she might have to drop the shield or whatever, or I can carry it for the meantime if we go there. How much does her armor weigh that she has?
It is chainmail, so like 40 pounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Okay. So, what is our approach to the city? How are we going to tackle this? Sammy, you said you have some spells that might help us? And I'm pretty sure Maya has the experience of getting into a city unnoticed.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I can hopefully hide our persons so that it doesn't draw any attention to ourselves. I would need to apply oil to your clothing and cast some spells on you, and then myself. And you must remain quiet and not draw any attention to yourself, not interact with people, probably not each other. So once we are hidden, we should know what we're doing, where we're going, and how to communicate to each other.
Should we meet at the temple?
I mean, one of us has to figure out where that tomb is exactly, right?
Well, surely the priest would know. Do you think, sister?
Yeah, I'm just saying who's speaking for us. Are you gonna ask the questions and lead us there? Because we won't, like, everybody who's invisible won't be able to communicate, right?
I will indeed. I will, well... Alright, I could be a young woman on a pilgrimage to... What tomb was it again?
The Sparksteel family tomb?
Yes, I'm not entirely sure if I will. Young historical researcher. There we go. Perfect.
I have now answered your questions, Faye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, there are 2 ways into Abenkai. 2 regular ways. There's all sorts of unregular ways. There's the front door, and there's the port. Of course, you know, the rest of the town is surrounded by walls that you could go over or under or through, maybe? I don't know. But the normal ways in are the front door and the port. Which way would you guys like to go?
I'd like to go in via the front door.
From a logistics standpoint, it would make the most sense, personally, for Sammy, Sarah, and Bud to camp in the Barcarian forest somewhere, hidden away a bit, so that we're not instantly found or noticed, hopefully. And for our dear sister Maya and Jane to travel to Abenkai and enter the city and maybe ask some questions about where to find the tomb and figure these things out. Yeah. I mean, the poor who are living in the city might be able to easily give you the information for a couple of coins.
Okay. So the family's going to go hide out in the woods. A couple of people are going to sneak inside, gather information, then meet back outside, talk with everyone else, and reformulate a new plan based on gathered intelligence. Yeah?
Well, we basically want to know... Yeah, we basically want to know where the tomb is to be able to travel the fastest to the tomb without, spending too much time searching for it. Because the spell that Sammy casts has some kind of time restriction.
Yes, I think we said a turn per level, which is enough to get pretty much anywhere you need by the time you can cast the spell. Yeah, a turn is 10 rounds in 2nd edition.
Maybe once you're inside the city and know where to find the tomb, you might head there and take a quick peek to know if we can easily enter it or if we need to, I don't know, pickaxes to dig it open or anything other major. You know how easy it is to get it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sounds like a plan, brother. Yes, that works for me. What about you, Jane?
I go where my lord tells me.
But if we're to do this, we need to be in disguise. So I can't be. Don't call me my lord or my lady or anything like that. Yes.
Okay. So what is my role here?
You're my protective camouflage. We'll just be a couple of peasant women going in.
So I just go in alongside you?
Yes, all you need to do is act like a country bumpkin and, just...
Well, I can do that.
Oh, marvelous.
She says, slipping back into her regular accent.
Perfect. Right. Let me just find something a little less ostentatious then, I guess.
Okay.
Like go through my pack and getting all my disguise bullshit out and... etc.
So, before we bother with the gates, we first need to get to the forest outside of the gates. Now, you know that there is a regiment of soldiers hanging out here on the road. You know that the woods are a little bit dangerous, and the coastline does not lead you to the front gate. So how would you like to get to Abenkai?
I would think the coastline, and then break in through the forest and make camp between the coast and the road.
Okay. Walking along the coastline then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Excellent. Let us adventure on the coasts. Where's our coastline adventuring music? Here we go. All right. You guys say farewell to your barbarian friends. Any tears at this parting?
I mean, not tears, but I would still like hug Rada, you know, and thank her. And I guess we share a very quiet moment together where I whisper some things into her ear that my family can't hear, right? Before we leave.
What does everyone aside from your family hear when you whisper this to her?
Best
What do you-
lover I've ever
Well, I
had.
guess.
I never thought I could feel like this.
No, I think she would thank her for the freedom she got to experience, you know, out here with the barbarians, that it's something she hadn't experienced before, and that she hopes that their strength and the courage they have, right, that she can take some of that with her, and that maybe she's gonna be a little bit stronger, a little bit more brave when she leaves this place, and that if she comes back, or when she comes back, that, you know, they can be proud of her being a brave member of their people.
Rada claps you heavily on the shoulder and says, "Yes, brave people, you will be. We wait for you." Anyone else have anything they want to say to the barbarians before you head off?
Yes.
Oh no, never mind. I've not done that yet. Can I retcon a couple days and try and learn some spells? Well, not retcon exactly, but there was one spell, because I wanted to leave a parting gift to the barbarians.
What spell do you want to learn? I thought you learned all your spells.
I thought I did too, until I found another one.
All right, let's hear this other one.
Okay, where the hell did the spell list go? Spell in question is Magic Lantern.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
It creates a permanent paper lantern that can be... It doesn't produce any heat. It can... you can control whether it's on, off, how bright it is, and it sheds 30 feet of soft light. So I thought it would be a nice gift, considering it's a permanent enchantment.
Yes, but you still need the paper lantern to enchant to begin with. It does not create the lantern out of thin air. Right?
Can I make a paper lantern?
Do you have paper?
I have a spell book.
Are you going to rip pages out of your spell book to turn it into a paper lantern? I need
Do
an
we
arts and
have
crafts
any
check
other
from
sources of paper?
You have the spell books you have the spells you already learned from the spell books.
I do, but those are very expensive, and I was entrusted with them.
You know, we've already made copies of the Constitution.
I have
We
a
don't need
map.
these originals. Let's just
I've
turn
got
them into a
forgery kit.
lantern.
I have a forgery kit. I've got paper in my forgery kit.
All right, there we go. I'm gonna
Okay.
borrow some paper off Maya. We're gonna spend some time making a paper lantern.
You owe me.
All right.
I owe you.
Okay.
Origami check for the paper lantern, please.
Give me an arts and crafts check, because you gotta like carve these branches and make them into like a lantern, and it's a complicated process because you need like a globular lantern.
Check do you want me to make, Neal?
Arts and crafts. Are you proficient in arts and crafts?
It's actually pretty easy to do because I've done those in kindergarten. Just saying, it's not that hard, Neal.
Really? I've never made a paper lantern before.
An int check. All right, there you go. 33.
I was gonna say a dex check.
Oh, well, minus 2.
18, yeah, all right, you're fine.
Can I help him? Can I be like, no.
We're doing it together. It's a family bonding exercise.
It is a family bonding exercise. Can we roll for arguments?
I was actually gonna say, give me charisma checks to see how much you argue at each other.
All right.
I argue the fuck out of.
Yeah, you failed. You do not get along. Hold on, Maya's pretty reasonable, or maybe she's not reasonable. Maybe she's just like kind of needling, and that's why Sammy loses his shit and starts yelling at her.
Maya's just too calm and too just like, no, you're doing it wrong. You need to do it like this. There you go.
Sammy's just like, no.
I can't take this.
Every time you do it wrong, I'm just there like, ooh, I wouldn't do it like that.
Well, let's try to learn the spell, shall we? It is not a conjuration spell, so it's a 50% chance to learn. And here's my D100.
Well, that's higher than 100, so you fail, or higher than 50, so you fail.
Yes.
You do not know this spell. Try again later.
I will come back and give them a gift.
See, you were doing it wrong, brother. You were doing it wrong. I told you that didn't go like that.
I instead just give them paper lanterns as gifts.
Okay. You've created them paper lanterns. Wonderful.
Do they appreciate my origami?
Not really. Because they don't do anything. They're just like little globes of paper, and they're like, oh, I broke it. Oh no, it's very delicate. Oops.
Right.
Radha, my dear, I have a gift for you for the time we are away from each other. And I grab my dagger, unsheath it. May this dagger, this iron dagger, protect you. May its blade always be sharp and always be hard when you need it. I know these paper lanterns are very interesting, Radha. I'm sorry that my dagger doesn't have the same standard. Well, goodbye.
She takes the dagger, waves goodbye to you, and wanders off to play with it without so much as a true departure. Alrighty, so on the beach we go towards Abenkai.
Didn't seem to be that into your dagger, brother.
Well, so it's like 15 miles.
Didn't seem to be that into your dagger.
That's true, it was too short.
That's nice, brother. I don't.
All right, well, let's just keep going. You guys walk along the coastline until you get towards where it heads west, and you cut into the woods, and you run into no monsters, and that evening you find yourself near the gates of Abenkai. The forest comes up to maybe 300 feet? Yeah, like 100 meters? Something like that. What's maximum range on a bow? That's the distance of the forest from the walls. Maximum bow range.
I think we're gonna stay a mile or two inside the forest.
Okay, deep in the forest.
Yeah, well, makes more sense.
Okay.
Because otherwise, scouts or hunters might easily find us at daytime when they go out to hunt and kill stuff.
Okay. Most of you settle down to make camp. Maya and Jane, are you going to slip into the city today, tonight, tomorrow?
No time like the present.
All Alrighty
So
then.
I need to roll for disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not on my sheet, so I'll do it manually. 20 plus 14. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a very good disguise.
I am now a simple country lass called Jenny.
Oh. How nice.
Right, my
She's just
lord.
wearing a sign that says, I am Jenny.
And this is my sister, Jane.
Jane and Jenny.
Yep.
Yep.
The double J's.
Runs in the family. Everybody's called something with a J.
Yeah.
All
There's our
right.
brother Jerry and our other brother John and
And the dad Jebediah, right?
We had a
so
dog
Dad and
named
our
Jack,
brother.
but he died.
Your brother, father Jebediah, and our sister, mother Judith. There we go. And there's my cousin uncle as well, Fred. Nobody knows why he's called Fred. He just is. Not really fitting with everybody else.
All right. Where is my... Perfect. Perfect. It's all perfect. Okay. You two are going to slip into the town tonight. So, let's go. You walk
All right,
up to the gates. You're in disguise as... What was your name again?
What was her name?
Her name is Jane.
Yeah, so I'm Jenny. Hang on, let
Jenny
me write down
and
my
Jane.
name so I don't forget.
And Jane is just dressed in regular clothes, just whatever she had on under her armor, not wearing any weapons. And you are dressed as
A simple country lass.
a simple country lass. Okay.
Yes. So basically, I'll sort of like I've told Jane that our cover is basically we're here looking for work. We've come from the country. We're here looking for work. You know, here to seek our fortunes.
All right. You get to the gates of the city through the 200-yard section of cleared terrain. There are torches on either side of the gate. The doors are closed. There's a pair of guards up top walking back and forth, patrolling, some might say, with lanterns. And as you approach, they shine them down on you, and you hear a voice calling out, "Who goes there?"
Oh, hello, my lords. Or we're just here from the country. Is the city shut?
It's late. What are you doing?
Oh, we've come from the countryside. We're here just looking for jobs, my lord.
At
We're
this
the
time of
ones-
night?
We've been working for a long time.
Those woods are dangerous. You could be
I
dead.
know, that's why we were so late. That we heard kobolds or something. We had to hide for a while.
You hear grumbling, and one of the gates opens up just a little bit, and someone steps out and looks back and forth along the sides and trots out to meet you with a lantern. She's got on chainmail and a spear, no shield, just the lantern instead. But a couple more heads have appeared up top with bows, crossbows.
I'll sort of bob a little sort of clumsy curtsy and be like, Jane, give the nice lady a curtsy.
Jane gives a curtsy and goes, hello. And the woman looks at you guys and goes, "You're a sorry lot, aren't you?"
Well, we've been traveling hard, my lord. We've come quite far.
Look you up and down. They make a charisma check to gauge your trustworthiness. She says she's gonna have to pat you down before she lets you in. No one's allowed in with any weapons. It's times of war, you know?
I have not brought any weapon except my sort of like hair jewel thing, which I've, also
So
rubbed a bit of dirt on and things so it doesn't look quite as ostentatiously blingy.
Yeah, and it's nighttime, so the lighting's not that great, but she takes the back of her hands and pats you down. Proper, not touching you. I need to feel under this and around this and over here and...
It's never happened to me before like this.
All right, well, come on in. We can always use more. What do you do?
I'm a servant. Well, I want to be a servant. I heard it's good money. I used to work on the farm of the pigs, my lord.
You're gonna have to learn how to speak sorry, where's my female voice? You're gonna have to learn to speak a little bit better.
Right, just.
If you want to serve people, you can't sound like a bumpkin.
Oh, right. So you've got her.
Just come on in. It's dangerous out here.
Right.
And she takes you inside the city walls and shuts the gate behind you and turns to you and says sternly, "Now look, you're gonna need to find a place to sleep. You can't sleep in the streets around here. Not anymore."
We've got a little bit of money put aside for the tavern. I heard there was a good tavern here.
There's one down the road. It's called A Loft. You'll find it.
Oh shit!
A loft. All right, my lord. Thank you very much for your help. And I'm gonna sort of bow and scrape and just be like, "Come on, Jane, let's go."
All right. You head down to the tavern down the road, just a wee bit, called A Loft. It's super cool and trendy with like bright colors and like very modern designs. But when they show you to the rooms, they're very uncomfortable and poorly designed. And you're like, this place looks cool, but it's really shitty. I don't like this place at all.
This place is a complete rip-off, isn't it, sister? Yeah, it's just like, yeah. So yeah, we'll just sort of like go to the room and maintain our veneer of being country bumpkins, I guess.
Sure. They're gonna ask you to pay for your room. It's a whole 3 silver.
I'm gonna count it out in coppers.
The nightman waits patiently for you to count it out, and then
We've lost count. Can you count it for me?
oh my god, he just counts it out. All right, here you go. Here's that, and here's your room key, and here's your room, and
Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
okay.
Go on, let's go.
You and Jane head off to your room, having aroused no suspicion.
I can bumpkin like a motherfucker. So yeah, so I guess we'll just sort of spend the night there, and in the morning go out looking for work.
Looking for work, yes. Yes. Okay, well, let's look for some work here. You are in Abenkai, a nice big town. It is no longer night, so let's get rid of our night effects. All right. The streets of Abenkai are fairly narrow. The buildings are tall and made out of stone blocks. There is a quarry nearby, actually inside the town itself, that they've been using to build things here. And yeah, it's a pretty happy, prosperous little city despite the effects of war going on.
So what I'll probably do is find like a different tavern, a sort of a mid-level, sort of like not shit but not posh tavern, and just kind of like sort of like chat somebody, not in like a hey chat somebody up, but just sort of like, you know, try and get somebody talking. You know, find it sort of like an old bloke who sort of like who's obviously bored and looking to talk kind of thing.
You can find plenty of old blokes, retired, no longer doing anything, hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sort of like just sort of sideline and go. Excuse me, my lord. Did you know this area well?
Know this area well. I grew up on the streets here. I know every alley like the back of my hand.
Oh, right. Well, you see, my lord, I've been looking for a job and things, and you know, it's going all right, I think. But my granddad visited here once, and he said there was this lovely tomb, and he said it was worth a look.
The tombs?
Oi!
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. Noble fellers. They all get their special graves, while us common folk just get a mass grave and a hole in the ground.
He did say they were dreadful fancy, and I should have a look at the... Because he was a mason, you see, so he said the stonework was particular good.
Made by dwarves. Crafty little buggers.
Right. He said, what is it, the...
Do you know that when dwarves work on tall buildings, they don't use ladders?
Don't they?
No, you know what they do?
What?
Stilts.
Oh, that's dreadful clever, that is. Oh, my. Oh, wow.
That's how they get the bricks high enough that humans can walk through. big dwarven stilts.
We'd like to see that. Oh, that sounds like a lark. But my lord, what was the one my granddad was? Sparky Steel? Sparky Steely something?
The Spark Steel family? A bunch of rotten bastards.
Oi?
Rotten to the core.
All right.
Taking all the good work from us humans with their dwarven, long-lived lives and their architecture. It's unfair, I tell you. I used to be a mason, and my job was stolen by a dwarf. Fucking bastard been around as long as my grandpa had. He knew everything about the stonework. It's unfair, I tell you. It's unfair.
Who was he?
Some jabroni.
What's a jabroni?
It's a jerk. It's a derogatory term for a person you don't like.
Right. We just call them buggers where I come from.
Yeah, bugger, jabroni. It's all the same. Anywho, the crypts, yes. North side of town.
All right.
Yeah, not quite to the wall, but in a few blocks. You'll find them there. Yeah.
Right, and I will sort of like obfuscate the issue by asking him about different tombs, and then asking him if he knows any jobs are, and anybody's looking for work, etc., etc.
Yeah, he likes to ramble. You'll start him on one topic, and he'll go on for a few minutes, and then sort of just kind of peter out, and then pick up again. And it's a nice conversation. He's a little verbose, and it seems like he's got a chip on his shoulder.
All right, after about another 15, 20 minutes, I'll be like, oh, look at the time. Oh, what are we supposed to go meet those people about? Oh, we should be going. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Thank you so much, my lord. Thank you very much for...
Have a good day.
You too, sir. You too. Thank you very much. And I'll sort of like...
All right.
So yeah, probably spend the rest of the day just kind of... Probably sort of go myself, check out the location of the tomb, to sort of make sure I know the route to it, etc.
Yeah, you find the tomb. There are a whole bunch of them in like a graveyard that is walled off with a stone wall maybe 6 feet high that then has like spikes coming out for another few feet. So it's maybe a 8 or 9 foot wall total. And you will also see that there are guards on the gate that lead into the wall, into the tomby area. And if you pull up and look over the wall where a guard can't see you doing it, you can see that there are actually a group of dwarves standing around a temple near to the front gate, chatting amongst themselves.
In that case, I will go up to the gate guards and just be like, "Excuse me, my lord, is this the Spark Steel tombs?"
Tombs aren't for commoners like you. Get out of here!
Oh,
Get!
Sorry, my lord, my granddad told me about them.
Get out of here! This isn't for tourists!
All right,
He shakes his angry fist at you.
So I'm gonna sort of like take a little while and take a look at these walls. Like, is there any way of does it look like you could easily get over them in some way, or do you have to go through the gate?
You could climb the wall. I would give you a dex check, and a failure would mean you accidentally stabbed yourself on the top spike somehow, because they're designed to be stabby.
Yeah.
So a failed dex check would result in, let's call it a d6 damage. So it's dangerous, but doable.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do it now, but I'm sort of like, right. Right. Oh god, this accent is awful. All right then. Try how we're going to get past the guards, but let's
You hear bells ringing in the town. Loud bells. Church bells, alarm bells, fire bells. There's a fire somewhere in the town. I don't know if it concerns you at this point, but it's happening.
I'll probably take this as an opportunity to leave the town and go back to the rest of the party then, while everybody's distracted. So I'm assuming the night shift guards are, not there anyway, so the day shift guards wouldn't recognize us. So yeah, just sort of...
They don't check you on your way out. They just let you walk out. and you make your way back to the woods where your family is. And yeah.
Right, we found our way to the tombs, which are fairly heavily guarded by some quite angry dwarves. There's a wall with spikes and things. Yes. What should we do you think?
Well, in terms of disguise, we still have the armor that Jane was wearing.
That would disguise one of us. Wouldn't get us into the tomb, though. It's guarded by dwarves. Unless you could make one of us look much shorter and, beardier and things. Can't do that, can you?
Not yet.
Neal, just for understanding, were the dwarves standing nearby chatting, or were they guarding the tomb?
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Right.
How many guards did you see?
How many guards did I see? 6.
Yeah, 2 on the front gate, and then there were 4 dwarves. The 2 on the front gate were humans, and then it was the 4 dwarves on a specific tomb. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the tomb that we want, the heavily guarded one, because of course it's too much to ask for that the tomb we want is unguarded. I feel that going in under the cover of night and possibly invisibility might be a good idea.
Just so you know, it's not invisibility. We're still regarded as seen, just harder to notice in a group of people.
Well... perhaps all of it could provide a distraction.
I think maybe we need some more information. Perhaps you could stay another night and see if anything changes in terms of their rotas, or if they're still guarding it during the night.
All right. Oh God, I have to do that bloody accent again. Fine. Come on, let's go back before the night guards come on then.
It's an idea. Does anyone else have anything?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I want to go back to that terribly uncomfortable tavern.
And the human guards, did they wear the Sherazin family signatures, or?
Shazarin.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Is it theoretically possible to go through another tomb? Like,
do the
to break
tombs
open?
Connect?
Yeah, or like break through a wall, like to the other tomb?
Ooh.
Are they all,
Yeah.
like go into another tomb that is not protected as heavily, go in there and then try to dig through?
You would need to know how the tombs are connected, what their underground floor plan is like, and that is not... It's not like an archive of tomb floor plans.
We'd also need
I like what you're thinking, but I don't know if you know that ahead of time. You might have to like explore multiple tombs and try and like piece it together on your own.
I have an idea.
Please.
Listening?
So, not so long ago, Jane was part of the Sherazin family's army. And as such, she might be familiar with a bit of the jargon used in the military. We could, Maya could maybe lure one of the guards away on their off-duty. And we could replace the guards with Jane.
That's actually not an awful idea, Jane.
Whatever you want.
But
I'm
do you
your
think
loyal
you can
servant.
do it?
Sure.
That way we could sneak into the city. And could you on the map we are right now, on the world map, Maya, could you give us a rough sketch of the exterior?
Certainly.
Where the entrance is and where the tombs are. Just so we know how a bit of location. Because my idea right now is to exchange Jane for one of the guards, go in at night, kill the other guard, let Jane summon the dwarves, and weak sneak past them. Past the 4 dwarves. You know, Jane lets us in, alarms the other 4 guards. That, yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. That I got attacked. And maybe get shot with a bow wound. That way it could be a ranged attacker that could have would be sneaking away in the darkness again.
Wouldn't they just split up and some of them would search the tomb and the rest would like...
Well, Jane could tell them that no one came in. She was shot from range, outside.
Yeah, you know,
And maybe these couple of minutes are enough to that we're able to get into the tomb. Otherwise, we could prepare an ambush for the 4 dwarfs. That's another option.
Some good ideas, but ultimately I think we need some more information to go off of to work out the specifics.
Well, here's Maya's map that she draws for you. This is the wall that runs around it. There's the one entrance right over here. And then there's a whole bunch of mausoleums all over the place. The diamond-shaped one at the front is the one that had all the dwarves on it. And then you've got squares and circles for the rest.
Is that the only guarded one?
Excuse me?
Is that the only guarded tomb?
From what you saw, your brief glance in, that was the only one that had soldiers on it. There were a couple other people paying respects at various other tombs, but no one else. You didn't see any other guards.
Interesting.
Guard dogs, though.
Guard dogs, yes.
Well, we have some sort of an idea of how to get in. How about getting out?
Depends on how much time we need in the tomb.
Well, it might even be possible to hide in one of the other tombs overnight and sneak out over the back or something.
That's what I was thinking. It would be very inconvenient if someone were to casually come into the tomb we were in, though.
I understand, but if we are able to get into the tomb while the guards are away, good. If we can't, then we have a problem anyway. We need to kill the dwarves, and this will raise suspicion the next day. So we only might have 6 to 8 hours until the guards get replaced.
And you call me murder happy, honestly.
I wouldn't say that if Plan A goes to... If Plan A doesn't work, that we go straight to murder. I mean, not that it's the wrong thing to do, just that I think it would be bad for us in general.
I think before we even go in there, we should set up a rope up against the back wall, you know, tie it over the spikes. That way we can get out quickly if we need to.
If they patrol the wall, though, and find that rope, that will be trouble.
Well, I'll check if they do any patrols or if they just stand there guarding. Most guards do as little as humanly possible.
It's true.
And we need to know when they change shifts, so that we have the longest of time.
Yes. Now, I really must be getting back to
the tomb.
Talking of changing guards changing shifts, I don't want to run into the night guards again. They might recognize me and ask why we're coming in a second time.
Good. So if you could find all these out, and that would be great.
Right, so guard patterns and... Yes, guard patterns.
Guard pattern numbers. What happens at night, if there's any changes in frequency, people.
Indeed. I might even try chatting up one of the guards when they're off duty. That might work. Yes. Anyway, I'd better be going.
Okay.
Come along. Come along.
Good luck, sister.
Jane. Yes.
So it's you and Jane going back in on your own again?
Yep.
All right, and are you going in at day or night?
It's only been a couple of hours since we left, so hopefully still daytime.
Okay. You return to the gates, and definitely a different guard from last night. Yeah, night watchman is not up. They see the two of you coming. There's a little bit of a line forming at the gate while each person gets searched and questioned. You can hear the people directly in front of you are farmers bringing their wheat to market. They got a little wagon, and they're chatting. And eventually it's your turn.
I'm just going to give them the exact same spiel as last time.
Yep. They give you a similar spiel and give you a pat down.
Good.
And then let the two of you in. They don't see any problem with you.
Right. Okay, and then what I will do then is probably buy some bread and cheese and sort of like... Is there any kind of like areas of like grass, sort of like, you know, sort of like grassy bits or anything near the tombs? Anywhere you can sort of comfortably sit down.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly.
All right, in that case, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down sort of like, you know, with a good view of the tombs and just like casually have my lunch and you know, just sort of sit chatting with Jane and admiring the view and you know, just having a nice day.
Yeah. All right. It's a pleasant day. Some other picnickers come and sit down nearby you, but don't interact with you. You and Jane have a pleasant day eating bread and cheese on a grassy knoll near the tombs.
Have a little sort of like, I'll also buy a skin of like fairly cheap wine and just you know, we just have a little... Also, possibly trying to gauge if any of the guards are kind of like looking over and being like, hey, girls, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just maybe being a little bit ostentatious with the you guards. You know, just being sort of like ever so slightly kind of like, hello, boys. Just to sort of build interest.
After a little while and not much going on, one of the guards will, after chatting with the others, will walk over to you a little bravely and boisterously with his chest out and his shoulders back and be like, ladies, how is your afternoon going?
Oh, hello, my lord. Oh, well, it's going lovely, thank you. We're just here, you know, having a little, you know, picnic. Whee.
A picnic, that's an adorable term.
Oh, thank you,
You
my
don't
lord.
sound like you're from around here. Your accent is distant and exotic.
Yes, my lord. We've come from a far country, so we've come in search of jobs, my lord. It's a good living being a servant in the big city.
Are you still looking? I know some people. Maybe I could set you up.
Oh, well, that would be lovely, my lord. That's really nice. What's your name, by the way?
My name is Gus.
Gus, that's a lovely. Oh, that's a lovely name, Gus.
And yours?
Oh, I'm Jenny, and this is Jane, my sister.
Hello, Jane. Hello, Jenny.
All right.
So, yeah, I know this one of the Shazaran family members. And they're always looking for new servants, so I could introduce you.
You must be terrible important, my lord.
No. I'm just a civil servant doing his job, keeping ruffians and would-be grave robbers at bay.
Oh, that must be terrible dangerous. You must be so brave.
Well, I mean, guarding a tomb's not dangerous work unless grave robbers come by. Grave robbers are a nasty sort, you know. They're not willing. They're willing to kill to get to the dead.
Have you had many, my lord? Have you had to have lots of dangerous fights?
There was one attempt. There was a brigand we caught sneaking over the wall last week. He's tried to break into one of the crypts there. Foolish bastard went for the frontmost crypt, right in front of the guards. We heard him trying to crack it open with a crowbar and skewered him in the back.
Ooh.
Fortunately, we didn't get to know who he was or why he was doing it. But we brought the man to justice. Maybe you saw him in the town square? He's still hanging from the rafters.
Oh, no, my lord. Oh, that sounds terrible, scary. I don't, oh no, my lord, no. Oh, I can't roll faint. Oh no. Have they got big doors on them tombs then? I guess they got big locks and things. Is that how they work?
Yes, locked doors. Well, of course, these tombs here are all very, how do we say, well secured. They have quite good locks on them. You'd need to be an expert lockpicker to get through them.
Oh, right. I suppose you keep the keys all nice and safe as well. Do you guard them with your life, my lord?
Actually, each tomb is, they have the descendants of the buried folk keep the keys. We don't hold on to them for security's sake. Otherwise, if one of us dies, then all the tombs are open for looting. So each family keeps their own set of keys.
Oh, that's clever, my lord. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You seem like a brave and handsome man. I mean, you seem like a brave man, my lord.
He looks at you weirdly when you remove the handsome from your description of him.
I'm like putting on a blush sort of thing. I'm just like, oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, well, And what about you? You're a sight to behold, a true gem among a sea of monotony.
Oh, my lord. I'm just a simple country lass, my lord. I'm nothing special.
There's nothing simple about you.
Oh, my lord. That's I don't know what to say. Oh dear. Oh.
Well, my shift ends in when the sun goes down. So if you're still around, perhaps I can show you the sights of the city. The harbor is beautiful this time of day. That time of night, I should say.
Oh, well, I might be... Jane, we've got our appointment, but I could probably come back and, I could probably find a bit of time to do.
Jane says, I'm sorry, my lord. We have plans tonight with our friends, but maybe next week or something? Hurry on, Jen. We should go. It's getting late.
Oh. All right, maybe another dream, my lord.
She looks at him with like a "you stay away from my friend" look, and takes you by the hand.
She's the royal guard, right? So
yeah, she's keeping you safe.
I just got cock-blocked by my fake sister. God damn it.
Ooh, she was honestly thinking that he was just being a creeper and trying to protect you, not realizing that you were actually going for something. Her intent was well, and she leads you off a little bit.
All right. So yeah, and I'll just sort of. What I'll probably do then is I'll wait until. Sort of like, yeah, we'll leave. I'll sort of, sort of like I'll come back a bit sneakier later and just sort of like. Loiter out of sight and just like actually take note of all the guard routines and stuff.
Yeah, it appears that they change the guard when the sun goes down, and a new group comes in. The dwarves are seemingly on their own schedule. There's still 4 standing near the tomb, but they don't leave at nighttime. There has now been a table and some chairs that have been planted nearby, and they've got some candles and a couple of barrels of something nearby, and they're playing cards.
Motherfucker. It's just gonna be rough.
Yeah. Let's talk about these guards a little bit more. The ones on the gate itself are wearing chainmail with shields and spears in the typical guard fashion. The dwarves, on the other hand, aren't so heavily armored. They've just got some like leathers on with axes that are nearby but not currently in hand. There seem to be, how do you want to say? They're not heavily armored, but their presence is enough to deter would-be grave robbers. So they're just lightly armored and moderately armed.
Right. Killable then. Good. Right. Okay, so I'm going to sort of confer with Jane and just be like, right. Not sure when to do this. Well, we need to get the family in, but
She nods. Let's get them in first.
yes.
I'm sure they could help us.
Oh yes, I'm just trying to work out. So possibly, okay, that guard is a weakness now. He's our weak spot. I could definitely get him on his own, I think. Yes.
The one that you were just talking with?
Oh yes, he
Earlier?
totally wants me. Yes.
She does, yeah. I could probably get the other one. She says, biting her lip.
Oh, look. It's. I don't want you to do anything you don't need to, dear. It's fine. I'm trained for this.
Sister, I've been turned to stone for weeks. It's been weeks.
I think she wants to.
Remember that we are faking this, yes?
Oh, well, that's my specialty.
I'll just give her a little sort of solidarity hug. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's fine. All right, if that's what you want, then that's fine. Weeks.
Weeks.
Right then. So I guess the plan is. So yeah, we get the family into the city, and then we, pull the guards off. Not literally, unless unless Jane's feeling particularly frisky. Murder them or whatever, take their place, and then because we could probably both take the place actually if Jane does the talking, and then just sort of like try and distract and lure the dwarves off.
Okay. But first, you're gonna bring the party in, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
we will leave the city again to deliver the plan as such.
So are you leaving that day, or did you stick around until that? Yeah, you had to stick around that evening to see the guard change. So you must be leaving the city at night once more. Okay. You return to the party in the woods. And before we delve into what the party has been doing, why don't we take a short break? And when we come back, we'll check in with the party, and then we'll get everyone in the town, maybe, or maybe all die, and we'll play from there. So we'll see you on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.